Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. I have been running at a crazy pace for the last couple of weeks. My aunt in Houston had been suffering from ovarian cancer for several years, and last week it became very apparent that her battle was going to end, and so we went out to see her and support my grandmother as she said goodbye, and then I just got back from moving my grandmother into her new facility up in Washington, helping my mom with that. And then next week I have to go to Houston for the funeral. So I feel like I've been running, and I wanted to touch base with you because I didn't want you to feel like I was not paying attention or present in our conversation. Katie's doing such a great job of keeping everyone connected with that group text, and I am reading everything. I just have not had a copious amount of time to reply in the way that I would like to normally. So I wanted you to know that I am thinking of all of you, and just also trying to work on one of our tenets of MOPS this year, which is be here now and be present with the people in my family who need a lot of support right now. So I'm grateful that I can do that. And I'm sorry it's costing you a little bit of my presence and attentiveness, but hopefully once I'm back from the funeral, it'll just be the regular things in my life that I'm juggling. So I also just wanted to talk a little bit about the theme for this year, which Karen talked about on at our meeting last Tuesday, and she had a lot of great points and verses that she pulled out, but I wanted to kind of share the focus that I was feeling about it as well. And so I'll do that real quick and take it or leave it. It's just what my thoughts were, and because we're not going to see each other for a little bit here, I just wanted to share it with you while it was fresh on my mind. So our big theme is say yes. And I have been really convicted that sometimes your best yes is actually a no. For instance, if you want to say yes to family dinners on the weekend, prioritizing family dinners on the weekend, then you might have to say no to the invitation to the birthday party that someone got, or to the girls' night, which you probably desperately need. But sometimes we have to decide where the yes is going to be. And in our house, we always say, if you say yes to something, you necessarily say no to something else. And that's okay. It's just understanding that we can't do everything all the time. And usually if we are trying to do everything all the time, we're not doing any of it well. So I would just encourage you to remember that sometimes your best yes comes in the form of a no to something else. So think about that. And then the other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on briefly was the tenet of befriending discomfort. I don't think any of us necessarily run toward discomfort or wanting to be uncomfortable. But over the last couple weeks, I have had a lot of that. And I have had to remind myself that sitting with the emotions that I feel and allowing myself to walk all the way through this process and the hard things is really the only way that I come out the other side healthy and whole. And so I want you to know that befriending discomfort does not mean that you have to be uncomfortable all the time. It doesn't mean that you're going to be miserable forever. But I think that our healthiness and our happiness comes from paying attention to all the things that we're feeling and all of the things that feel hard. And I think if we don't pay attention to them adequately, it ends up hurting us in the end. So I would encourage you to, if you feel discomfort, pay attention to that, name it. Say, I don't like how this feels right now, or I am scared by this activity or this opportunity or this turn of events, and I'm not sure what it's going to look like. Even just saying those words out loud and naming how you feel can just bring a lot of hope and can be very helpful in moving towards a situation that's not so full of discomfort. So, and my best friend texted me this morning and she said, I am just surrendering to the idea that I am going to show up and be willing, and that I don't have to show up and be perfect. And I just think that that is such a beautiful thought. And I hope that you find ways today to remind yourself that you are willing to do what God has called you to do. And when you do that, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, ladies, I'm so excited to see you the next time we can all be together again. Thank you so much for your grace in me not being totally connected with that group message over the last few days, but I see you and the hard seasons you're in, and I just want to offer you words of encouragement and let you know that you are doing a great job. All right, we'll talk soon.